Hi, I'm Skylar.
And I'm Max.
During quarantine, we decided to start watching Bob's Burgers to see what it was all about.
It didn't take long for us to become completely obsessed with the show.
And one of the things we loved the most about the show were the brilliant end credits.
Which is why we created this podcast.
Each week, we'll go episode by episode to talk about the elaborate end credit sequences.
We're excited to have you join us on the very first Credit Score spinoff, Bob's Credits.
We'll make sure the Bob's Burgers end credits get the credit they're due.
Oh, hi. Oh, are we starting?
Well, I want a sip of my coffee.
Okay, get a sip of coffee.
Is this it?
This is it.
Have I bypassed your chip-chipperoo this
No.
week?
Chip chipperoo.
Hello to you. You know what? It helps having coffee in my hand when you say that.
It helps having coffee if I say it. Like, I need to have coffee. With or maybe a little saucer, a little cup and a saucer with my pinky up. Chip chipperoo. No? Biscuit, our dog, is looking at me like I'm an idiot, as always.
You know, I'm actually okay with this idea because I want to get into tea making after watching that show we watched last night. What's it called?
The Haunting of Bly Manor.
Oh my god, it's so good, and it makes me want to just make a cup of tea.
But it's all spooky when she's making tea.
That didn't make you want tea.
No, never.
Okay.
No, I don't want anything to do with ghosts or anything, and that, nope.
You guys, speaking of ghosts, we do have one in our house.
We do?
Do you think this episode will be released near Halloween? Would this be an appropriate conversation?
It'll be it might be after Halloween, but it'll be around-ish Halloween, I think.
Well, the ghost in our apartment stays past Halloween, so.
Ghost is always here.
Yeah, Biscuit talks to a ghost in the corner of our bedroom just randomly.
Yeah, for a long time.
Month.
For a long time, it used to be nightly at the same time at 8:12 p.m.
He would sit up very, very straight. And normally he's all curled up and snuggling on the bed at that time. But he sits up straight and he stares at the corner of our room and starts speaking, crying. Mm-hmm. And I think there's a ghost.
For a while, it was very creepy just because it happened so regularly. And
at the exact same time.
Now it only happens, like you said, once a month, thankfully, because I don't want a ghost in there.
Maybe they finished their business.
Whatever they were doing?
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds gross about being in our bedroom and they were finishing their business and that they're done.
That reminds me of, what's our favorite show? In the Shadows.
What We Do in the Shadows.
When the ghost, he literally has to.
his unfinished business is to finish his business. Yeah.
Guys, exactly. A great show. If you want to laugh as much as Bob's Burgers, What We Do in the Shadows, the TV show, is so phenomenal.
It's great. Please watch that. But we are here to talk about Bob's Burgers. This week we're doing episode 6. But before we get into that, we have to play our favorite segment. I don't know why I'm singing it, but I feel like Linda Belcher.
Bob Puns. Or is it Max? Max Puns.
Oh, I like
or
that.
Is it Bob?
Okay. Bob Pun or Max Pun with its new theme song.
Yep.
Do it again.
So much pressure. Bob's Puns. Or is it Max? Max Puns.
Okay, are you ready for this?
Now I am.
Everyone knows what this game is by now, right?
Well, the theme song says it, so
yeah.
Let's just dive in.
For the new listeners, you'll figure it out.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, your first pun is a charred day's night burger.
Ooh.
It's been a charred day's night.
Watch us get sued for singing Charred Days Night.
And we get sued for a lot of other things before we get sued for that.
Okay, I'm split 50-50 here. I'm going to go Bob.
No, it's Max.
Damn it.
Although, like we said last week, every now and then I do one that I guess they have used some because I feel like that one might get used at some point. It's very obvious to me.
I trust that you are honest about...
This week, this came from my brain.
Okay, love it.
Okay.
I like it. That's the rule.
The next one is, don't chimichurri, be happy, burger.
Ugh.
Don't chimichurri, be happy.
My dyslexic brain hates when they're not quite on.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of a stretch for me. That is Okay, here's why I'm having a problem. I told you to use more interesting ingredients because that's where you were failing to trick me.
Yes.
And I can totally see you like Googling and being like, oh, chimichurri, I should use that.
Right.
Max.
But, yes.
Yes.
How did I give it away? Mm-mm. Okay. The next pun is the Great Kraut Doors burger. Comes with sauerkraut.
This is tough. I feel like it's you.
It is. How are you getting these?
Because I know you.
Okay. Your next one is a leak of their own burger.
Oh, that's sweet. I'm going to go Bob's. Straight this
No,
week.
it's Bob. Yeah, you got them all.
I love it.
You got them all. You're on a roll lately.
I love it.
You've got a winning record overall.
I'm so proud of myself.
Okay. Should we get into this episode? This is
Let's
episode
get
6
into
from
it.
season 2. Skylar, title and synopsis, please.
This week's episode is titled Dr. Yap. After Bob kisses Gail, high after his dentist appointment, Gail thinks they're now in the throes of a forbidden love affair. When Bob tells Linda what happened, she's over the moon. This will give Gail the confidence to get her own man. The perfect opportunity arises when Dr. Yap, Tina's dentist, or the family's dentist, asks them to go skiing, hoping to woo Gail with his Prince of Persuasion method. Meanwhile, Tina tries Dr. Yap's method on him, and Jean and Louise fight over a jawbreaker the whole time, which is totally delightful.
It's great. I love
I
their
love that runner. It is so good.
Yeah, their job breaking
Competition.
their competition.
My favorite is the snow in the pants.
That's a good one.
I don't know why. Do you have a favorite one?
What else did they do? There was snow in the pants.
Who can make the grossest drink?
That one grosses me out.
Lemon in the eyes.
Oh, who can listen to Teddy's towel story the longest? That one
That
makes
was
me
great.
laugh.
And of course, Louise couldn't.
This episode came out on April 29th, 2012, and was written by Stephen Davis and Kelvin Yu, and was directed by Anthony Chun. Just want to give everyone all those credits the credit they're due.
Thank you, Max. Now, y'all might think this is Dr. Yap's introduction to the show, but it is not. He was actually introduced in Art Crawl, but not as a character. He was a portrait,
Oh, right.
a nude portrait that Tina painted. So it's already been planted that Tina has a crush on him in the episode Art Crawl. And you guys should look up the nude portrait just to, see it again because it's fabulous. He's naked.
Did you spend some quality time with this nude portrait? Unfinished business.
Okay.
So Dr. Yap is voiced by Ken Jeong, who obviously biggest role was in The Hangover, but he's also one of those everything guys that
But
you
he
hate that I say.
literally is.
But he was in Community. He voices a lot of characters. I think he hosts. He's some kind of host on America's Got Talent now. I'm not sure. No, The Masked Singer.
Oh, really?
One of those shows. Yeah, he's everywhere.
Is that show good? Because I have no interest.
America loves it. I've never seen it.
Okay. Oh, yeah, The Masked Singer. And I Can See Your Voice. I think that's the new one.
Mm-hmm.
Those are like joke shows, but then they're huge. I don't understand. I don't get it. Okay.
There are these shows that should not be as big as they are, but they are the biggest thing in America.
But we don't have cable anymore.
Yeah, so we don't.
So we just
a lot of those competition shows we don't watch.
Okay. We're over here watching Bob's for the 15th time.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
That's our unfinished business. So another voice in this episode that's important because he makes a lot of appearances. He does a lot of voice acting in this show, but he's also one of those everything guys. You're going to hate me. But I looked it up so I can say exactly stuff that he's actually in to make you realize who it is Rob Hubel, who
no clue.
He voices the Prince of Persuasion in this, which will be important to these credits. So he's from this Upright Citizens Brigade improv family. Mm-hmm. He was Tevin in I Love You Man, who was like the asshole that Paul Rudd hated at work.
Okay.
Who always tried to steal his clients.
Okay.
But you will probably know him most as AJ from The Office.
Exactly.
Who dated Holly
I love
after
him.
Michael. Yeah. And
didn't we sit next to him at that
there you go.
concert?
That's what I was going to say next. We went to the Bluegrass Situation Festival concert out here that's just like Ed Helms from The Office is kind of like the founder of the Bluegrass Situation at the festival. And he was there and we kind of like sat right next to him.
We sat right next to them. And then who was the actor that was with him?
I looked to you and I said, you recognize Skylar? He's in everything. And you're like, what is he in? And we went through this whole thing that we just went through.
But I knew his friend because we were watching Veep at the time.
Yeah, Matt Walsh from Veep
Was with him.
who was also an everything guy. And I think he's from like the same school of like improv actors.
I love it.
But they're all buddies. And yeah.
It was a wonderful day back when we can go to concerts.
Mm-hmm.
And you could sit down. And it was in the day. I was home before the sun went down.
It was great.
That's
everything about
I
it.
need
It was
in a
not
concert.
super crowded.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
All right. Now that we've explained our life story,
Do we have any more fun facts from this episode before we get into the credits?
we sure do. Because I pulled my weight this week.
Okay. Hit me.
Okay, so Dr. Yap is actually named, who are the sisters that we love when the Milieu? No, that's not right.
We said like that. We struggled last week.
The M sisters.
Molyneux? You're the French one in this relationship. It's Molyneux. You're always walking around speaking French.
That's because we've been watching Call My Agent, and it's in French, and I love it. Okay, so you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So it's named after a dentist that Wendy went to, Janice Yap.
Oh, okay.
But just like Mort has, his name says his profession. Yap also has the double meaning too. Shut your yap. So yeah, just a little fun fact for you. And the hygienist, I guess Wendy's just like into dentistry because she plays.
Who isn't?
I used to want to be a dentist when I was a little kid.
I just wanted to be the dentist in Little Shop of Horrors, which is he's not a good guy. It's very abusive.
Steve Martin is so good in that.
Oh my God, so good.
But she voices the hygienist in this episode, Wendy the writer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
I know. I thought
that's
that
always
was
fun. I
fun.
feel like every now and then the writers pop in and do a voice.
That would be so fun. And other than that, I don't have anything else except that the jacuzzi at Dr. Yap's timeshare, he calls it jacuzzi.
The jacuzzi.
Which again, I don't know why we talk about French stuff every single episode, but if it sounds familiar to you, it's the famous Émile Zola open letter called J'accuse.
I don't know.
Which means I accuse you.
I don't know anything you just said.
It was a little too heady for us, a little too literary, but I just wanted, to let the people know where this joke came from.
We can be literary.
We can. What's your favorite Russian novel?
It has to be Russian?
You wanted to be literary?
Oh, why does it be Russian, though? I don't know. I don't speak Russian.
Back when I feel like we're going to talk about a lot of dating stories with the Prince of Persuasia theme here, but when I was on Tinder, when we broke up for a little bit, the only time I've been on Tinder,
How dare you?
When you would run into the boys or the guys who they think that their thing is their, film or literature knowledge, it is so painful.
Oh, it's in their profile?
It's not in their profile. It's like, it's how they talk to you.
The brief moment I was on Tinder, my profile was just my top 10 favorite Russian novels.
How'd that work for you?
Not well, let me tell you. Not well at all.
Okay.
Should we get into these credits?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so the very end of this episode, they're up at the ski lodge, the ski timeshare, and the kids have run outside to get first person to catch a squirrel is their new competition, I think.
Yeah.
And Gene comes in with a dead squirrel, which is important to the credits that it goes into. So let's
do
see.
it.
Right?
Got one!
No fair, it's dead!
It's not dead, it's sleeping.
Gene wins the tooth.
Come on!
Yeah! Let's get out of here, squirrel!
Okay, before we even start the credits, so I forgot to mention that they're now battling, instead of the jawbreaker, they're battling for their dad's tooth that was pulled by Dr. Yap.
That sound, when they put the tooth against their own tooth, haunts me.
It's so gross.
Did that creep you out when we were rewatching last night?
Just them putting their dad's tooth in their mouth grosses me out.
I don't even care about it. It's the sound. I cannot deal with that.
Speaking of teeth, Skylar and I were doing a little tidying the other day, and we opened up a little, what would you call that? Like a little, like...
it's like a turtle that holds trinkets.
Yeah, we opened it up and we found Biscuit's baby teeth in there, which I did not know that Skylar kept. Like some sort of serial killer.
I love this dog.
So you kept his little baby teeth, huh?
You're like pointing the finger at me, but before I could say whether I should toss the trinket thing or not, you were like, we should keep that.
It's true.
So.
I'm a serial killer too. That's why we work so well together. Okay, so it immediately cuts to the credits, and there's no music playing, which is
a first.
I don't know if it's a
or
first,
rare.
Just rare.
Okay, what do we see?
And we're not in again, like last week, we're not in the restaurant.
Okay, so they
kitchen.
clearly had a meeting and they're like, I think we can take this out of the restaurant.
Yeah, we're ready to shake things up a bit. So what we have is Tina standing in front of the TV screen with a notepad and a pen or a pencil.
Yep.
And I guess we'll find out why.
Dress like her dad. It releases a hormone called melatonin.
Okay, so we hear that voice, and that's Rob Hubel as the Prince.
Now I can hear it.
Prince of Persuasia.
Which is...
That's hard to say.
Well, Dr. Yap has a plaque, so I think he has the videos, the Prince of Persuasia videos, but it seems like he did like a course or something because he has like, he was like certified in it.
There are like weird courses like this. This in particular is a spoof of an old VH1 show called The Pickup Artist.
Yeah.
That was awful.
I did not know the pickup artist was a thing until we were just talking about how funny this Prince of Persuasia was. And I was like, thank God nothing like this ever really existed. And Max is like, oh, no.
There's no way this show would be on the air now, but it was this show where this guy, he called himself Mystery, and he dressed like... They called it peacocking, I think, where they just wear they wear ridiculous outfits, and the goal of the show was to teach like nerdy guys how to go into bars.
This isn't scripted, y'all.
And pick up girls.
This is not a comedy.
But first they had to like change their name to something like weird and learn to like dress weird so that they can and then like there'd be stuff like they call it negging.
Okay.
Which was to like put down girls, which you see in this episode by the Prince of Persuasia, that you're supposed to like.
The patriarchy is real. How?
The fact that it was a TV show is ridiculous. So right when we start hearing the Prince of Persuasia from the TV screen, Gene runs into the frame chasing Louise with the dead squirrel. He looks like he's trying to hit her with
Delightful.
it or like rub it on her.
Yeah.
They're having a blast. So let's listen to...
Wait, what was the first line?
I'll go back.
Dress like her dad. It releases a hormone called melatonin.
This is my guess about this and these end credit sequence, by the way, because we're going to hear a bunch of different Prince of Persuasia kind of like one-liners or like... I think they just let Rob Hubel improv and go and just toss out as many as he could.
Yes.
And a couple made the cut for the actual show when they... And then these are like kind of like all of the other ones that he had that were good. So let's listen through some more as the credits play.
When you get into an elevator with a woman, press a higher number than her and then make a big deal about it. Push her in a lake.
Okay, pause it
Be
here.
one of the tallest guys in the bar and brag about how long your butt crack is.
Push her in a lake makes me laugh. Push her in a lake.
That you're right. That has to be improv. Like push her in a lake, and then what is the butt crack attached to that? Like you push her in the lake.
Be one of the tallest guys in the bar and talk about. Yeah.
I thought that would be great if the sequence was push her in a lake, and then while she's like trying to get out of the lake, brag about your butt crack.
No, I think push her in a lake was just
just
that's a one-off.
I love it.
So as he's talking about the pushing a higher number in the elevator than her, what did we see there?
We see Jean and Louise, Jean's still holding the squirrel, they walk backwards back into the frame, their heads turned toward the TV. They're like interested. They're like, this could be some good info.
Yeah, Gene's still holding the dead squirrel. He's holding the dead squirrel like the dead squirrel's interested too. They're all looking at the TV.
I love it. Tina's still taking notes.
Yeah, but they're all into it. The elevator line got them all very interested in this Princess Persuasion video, so now they're all watching it.
Sing a song that you supposedly heard on the radio and make fun of her for not knowing it.
These are also good.
They're so good. I feel like someone's done that to me.
So as he's saying that, Gene takes the dead squirrel, and kind of puts it in his hand so it can sit up.
It has a little hand chair.
And Louise looks over and looks at the squirrel like lovingly. Yeah, they love this dead squirrel. They love dead animals, these kids. It's very creepy.
Yeah, they wanted to go poke the
Dead seal.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe Louise will be a taxidermist when she grows up.
That's a good no, because
she's going to run the restaurant.
She's going to run the restaurant. We'll get to that episode
Yep.
where Bob catches her saying that she wants to run the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Use the word idiot. Never make her pancakes. Force her to make you pancakes in the middle of the night.
Use the word idiot.
It's so good.
Yeah, and so this is another one where he keeps talking even though the credits have ended, and it plays kind of like through the title card. But those are the end credits to Dr. Yap, episode 6.
I'm feeling good about these credits.
Yeah, highlights, lowlights, things you liked about it, things you didn't like about him.
Okay, total highlight, all of his lines.
So
brilliant.
Good. I could listen to him vamp.
Let's just make a mixtape.
I would
of
love
his lines.
to see if they're last week I wanted Megan Mullally in the booth singing as Tabitha Johansson.
Mm-hmm.
This week I want Rob Hubel just going off and doing Prince of
Misogyny
Persuasion
is so
lines.
funny.
Yeah. Should we come up with some?
Okay.
What would be a Prince of Persuasion line?
Make her cook your mom's lasagna recipe.
I like it.
Max is holding his hand.
Like it. Oh, I held my fist up. I held my fist up.
Why were you doing that? Does your arm hurt, or did you really like my line?
I really liked it. I got really excited.
All right, let's hear yours.
Let's see here. Tell her the first and last name of every character in the Goodfellas poster. How's that?
That is so good.
I feel like I could do that.
You feel like you could do that?
Yeah.
I feel like you probably have done that since you made me watch that frackin' movie. Oh
you
my
loved
God.
Goodfellas.
No, I loved Goodfellas, but that other one.
Well, that wasn't my fault. What was that? The most recent Scorsese movie?
Oh, The Irishman.
Oh, so boring. I'm so sorry for doing that. I'm sorry for making you watch The Irishman first without knowing how boring it was.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I needed that.
Make her sit through The Irishman. And then call her an idiot for not liking it.
I love that.
Okay, so anything else about the credits before we get into scoring them?
I really liked their Jean and Louise's walk backwards back into the frame.
Too.
It was fantastic.
Me too, because they were like doing their own thing, and they're like, "This guy, these are interesting. I need to take a step back and
I love it.
Let my squirrel pick up some of these."
I feel like it would work for Louise.
All right, so a newer segment that we have is were these end credits better than the episode itself?
I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say no too.
This is a Gail-centered episode.
Yes.
How could it not be fabulous?
Yes. She's always amazing. And they complement the episode very well.
Yes. I think we'll see if I love the Dr. Yap-centric episodes as much as this one, but this just hit every note for me. I loved all of it.
That brings us to scoring. We score on a scale of 1 to 10 H's at the end of Tina's Us. What do you want me to go first?
I feel pretty confident in my score.
Okay.
I'm giving it a 9.
Okay. I know we keep doing this, but I'm giving it a 9 too. They're almost perfect.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're not absolutely perfect for a Bob's end credit sequence.
Our first perfect one was the Jimmy Jr.
dancing
in Footloose
the
factory.
Yeah, what episode was that called?
That was the Goonies, the Belchies.
The Belchies. Yeah.
Yeah. Did it have an original song playing over it?
It had the Cyndi Lauper cover.
See,
of
that's a 10.
Goonies Are Good Enough. Yeah,
Cyndi Lauper
right.
did not
Yes.
write a parody song for this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
That's
a
what
9.
gets it to a 10. Yeah. A 9. H is at the end of Tina's A. And that's that for Dr. Yap, episode 6.
Chef's kiss.
Thank you, as always, everyone, for listening. Please leave us a review, a positive one, not a negative one. That would be nice. Tell your friends about us. Follow us on all the social media platforms. We're Bob's Credits all across the board. Instagram, Twitter, on Patreon, where we would love for you to be a subscriber so we can shout you out in an episode. And also, we're kind of gauging if we should add some tiers because we've got some really fun ideas.
Make her write a positive review on this. Make her write a positive review on Bob's Credits.
I
and
love
then
it.
tell her it sucks.
Perfect.
Tell him their dog is stupid.
Order every single Funko Pop you possibly can have and then talk about each Funko Pop and tell her which character they are from each movie. That's my real life.
Max does this to me every day. He loves these Funko Pops. It took me 6 months to even figure out the name. I kept calling them Fungo Foofs and God knows what else.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Okay.
I forgive you.
Is there anything else you want to tell everyone before we end this episode? I think you've got a little something you want to say.
Just stay saucy.
That sounds like a way that the Prince of Persuasion would sign off. Do you want to say it as the Prince of
No, that's
Use sayings like stay saucy.
no. My inspiration for that was Gene. Can't you just see him like hosting a podcast and
Yeah.
he's like, "Stay saucy."
It'd be more like, give her the wink and the gun and say, stay thirsty. That's a good way to end this episode.
I think so too.